I know, right? Hi, welcome to the Arsenal Fans Focus TV, where your passion and opinion take centre stage. Let's start by saying hi to everyone. How's everyone? Everyone good?
All good, thanks.
All
good.
All well,
everything blessed.
Brilliant. Guys, we've got a few things to talk about. Like I said, I want to talk about the game against Fulham. How you guys saw that? How you perceived that? I want to talk obviously a little bit about Saka coming back. I want to talk a little bit about Gabriel injury, and a little bit about Andrea. Someone say it for me.
Berta.
Andreas sign a bloody striker.
Well, in what I'm reading, I don't know about you guys, but what I'm reading, I know it's a lot of paper talk, but I mean, it should be sighting times ahead in the summer, apparently. But anyway, let's start off with anyone wants to kick it off? How did anyone perceive the game against Fulham?
Yeah, I reckon the result is exactly what we wanted.
I could just about see you, mate.
Oh, sorry, it's because I'm in the park, isn't it? Hey. You can hear me,
mate. Yeah,
you can hear me. Right, I reckon it was a shame that Gabriel got injured, but you're going to get that in modern football, especially with all these non-contact injuries. The game is so fast, if you get what I mean. So that was a big disappointment. The result was good, and it was fantastic that Saka come back. He's got an eye for goal. He's got goal dust, that geezer. He knows where the goal is, and he knows how to put it in the back of the net.
Do you want to tell us about how the game went first before all the injuries and everything else, mate? It's been a game.
Yeah, I mean, Fulham, they've never beaten us at... I don't think they've beaten us at Highbury or the Emirates throughout their whole history. So history was on our side. It was a bit of a dead rubber because, in my opinion, although you disagree with me, Pat, the league is done and dusted. It's Liverpool's now. They won the other night. It's the fat lady starting to sing, surely.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, look, the way I see it, I'm being honest with you. Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying that, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. You never know. I mean, all right, yeah. Hindsight, everyone feels that Liverpool's won it. Hindsight, yeah, so do I. But until I see that final whistle or mathematically impossible, then I'm just going to basically keep saying we still got a chance.
Yeah, I'm also very happy that Martinelli's got his mojo back at long last. You know, he was really having a go at the defenders and all that, and that's what his strength is. So thankfully, we've got him back in time for Real Madrid. Hopefully, we're going to have Saka. Hopefully, they won't do anything stupid at Everton and not play him too much. And all systems go for Real Madrid.
Anyone else?
Go on. I'll go.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on, Jake. Go on.
I was just going to say, as far as the game is concerned, I think with a lot of these coming after the international break, I thought like the first 10 minutes, we were just trying to find our feet for a little bit. And then obviously we grew into the game, got the goal, obviously, and where we had a couple of chances. But yeah, as I said, it's Saka was the main thing. Obviously, the reception he got was unbelievable. So it's really good to have him back, and I think it lifted the whole crowd. I don't think the atmosphere has been quite good this season. I've said that before, but that was probably one of the loudest times it's been, or best atmospheres it's been, is when Saka was coming off the bench. But yeah, good game. Good to get the 3 points. Annoyed that we didn't get the clean sheet at the end. But yeah, on to the next one.
Yeah, go on. I'll go.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, like obviously 3 points is 3 points in it. Yeah, if you would have said, "Do you want 3 points at the beginning of the game?" You would have said, "Yeah," all day long. Yeah, in it. Like you would have said, "Yeah, yes, please." Like, you know what I mean? And yeah, like Saka coming back as well, as Jake said. Like I can't remember the last time when the Emirates was loud like that. Do you know what I mean? That was just for a guy.
Palace in the cup, similar.
Yeah, but that was just for a guy coming on. Like, do you know what I mean? So 3 points, like I said, it's 3 points. We won the game. The only thing that spoiled it was we didn't get the clean sheet in it. And I don't know if anybody else saw this, but it got a bit nervy towards the end. Like, you know what I mean? It seemed like they got the goal, and it was like, let's see what Arsenal do now. Will they concede again, or will they see it out? Thank God, we saw it out. Yeah, Saka's back. That's a good thing. But like I said, 3 points is 3 points. We move, innit?
Mm.
And I don't know, like mathematically, I don't know, like the league. How many games to go? Like there's 8 games to go, right?
Yeah.
8 games.
There's 8 games to go, and we're 12 points behind. Liverpool have to be struck down with COVID or struck down with some virus or something if they're going to blow a 12-point lead. And the last team to blow a 13-point lead was Man United, and that was in 1998. I know this is not 1998, but I don't know, like, do I really think Liverpool are going to blow a 12-point lead? I doubt it. But like you said, Pat, innit? Stranger things have happened. Let's see, innit?
Let's see, mate. What do you reckon, Adam? You went to the game, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I think it's just momentum. I mean, Fulham have become a bit of a bogey side for us. I think that was a big thing. I'd say they took points off us in both games last year, this year as well. And it was just nice to beat them on that front, if nothing else. And I know what David was saying about it being a dead rubber, but I don't think second secured yet. Forest are kind of just chipping away, and I want to be as close to Liverpool even if we can't win it. So just from that point of view, I thought it was a good performance. It was weird. It did get nervy at the end. It was weird. It looked very comfortable at 2-0, and then suddenly we went to sleep a bit in the last 5 minutes. But no, good win. I think just momentum, I just think it's big. I think even, Real Madrid had a weird result against Sociedad the other day. I think momentum going into the Madrid game is just big. I think the more you win, the more confidence you get. Obviously, the injuries aren't going to help, but yeah, I thought it was generally a pretty good performance. I think Fulham looked that threatening until the last 5 minutes.
How did everyone go on, Charlie?
I think the first half was pretty boring, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And the second half, much more better. Although it looks a bit cagey. I don't think, apart from the final 5 minutes, I'd say, final 5 minutes, it didn't look as cagey in the second half, but it was an okay performance, and a performance that's probably fitting for our next game, which is Everton, where we need to be strong.
Talking about with the Everton game, we've got to be strong. Obviously, Timber is. I mean, he's not. Hopefully, he should be available for that game. But if he's got a knock,
he is.
Sorry,
we're gonna have to hope he is, because if he ain't, then.
Well, I mean, because I was hearing a lot of things. People were saying, look, I mean, if he's had that knock, do you want to be risking him playing at Everton instead of going to the for next Tuesday? And
yeah, but who else you got? Because Ben White's also out with another knock.
Who else have we got? Who else?
Fury's out.
Yeah, Calafiori's out as well.
He's out. So who'd you play there then?
Our only defensive options are Kiwi or Saliba, Lewis Skelly.
Party back at right back is an option, but it's not an option I love. I have to say,
I don't like that.
But would you not rather just? I mean, like what Adam just said, would you not just? You might as well just put Party there. He's been playing there for a lot of the time. So I mean, just to save.
Gonna have to, isn't he? If the worst comes to worst, gonna have to.
I think we lose so much of what Partey does in midfield when he goes. He can't be put on the right back. Yeah. I think Timber and White will be fit for Madrid. I think.
Well, Timber should be. White, I don't know about.
Yeah,
White.
Timber should be. Timber should be. But if they do play him, he's playing the Everton game comes before the Champions League, right?
Yeah,
we're at 12:30 kickoff as well, so we've got more time to recover.
Play Kivior Saturday and just don't play him on Wednesday.
Quick question, people. Quick question, Pat. Change the subject a bit. Do you lot rate that Kivior?
I do.
It's all right.
I do. I just think he hasn't been given the run out that he deserved. Unfortunately,
the game that I think should have earned respect is when we played Newcastle away and won 2-0. And I think he got man in the match, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I think he did. I think you're right there. Yeah, he did.
And if I remember rightly, we were under the cosh. It wasn't a dominant 2-0 win. It was more of a snatch and grab.
What do you reckon, Adam?
I think with Kivior, he's been really harshly treated at times. I think the fact that Saliba and Gabriel have been so good, I think I've heard people on X or Twitter or whichever you want to call it, talking about he's the worst centre back we've had in for years. I think, Jesus, do you not remember some of the centre backs we had back in the day?
Yeah, I've seen worse.
Yeah, and I think he's always done okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was a couple of slip ups the other night, but
he has made a few steps. Not the other night though, Adam.
No one's pretending. No one's trying to pretend that he's.
I'm not sure if it's his attention span, but sometimes he tends to leave his markers.
Yeah, he's not Gabriel Saliba, but I think he comes in and does a job. I think when Saliba got injured 2 years ago and we played Rob Holding for the last 4 or 5 games, Kivior came in January. I don't know whether Arteta didn't think he was ready yet. I think we'd have got a lot closer to win the league if Kivior had played in that last 10 games when Holding was playing. For me, he's miles ahead of people like Holding and Chambers that we had in the past. But he's a Polish international. He's not a bad player, but he's just not Gabriel. Obviously, it gets highlighted.
Chambers. I forgot about him.
Yeah, like you said, he needs 5-10 games in a row.
Yeah,
you can't just come to this league and play 2 games here and there. Do you know what I mean?
Not when you're replacing Gabriel.
In whole, last year though, Kirill, when he was given a run of games, I remember that run we had from January to April. He played pretty much every game at left back, out of position. He played really well.
Yeah, he was good at left back.
I just hope with his lack of match practice that he doesn't have to face off against Mbappe. That would worry me.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think he'll play. I don't think he'll play against Madrid. I think White or Calafiori would be fit enough to play.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
You will probably remember this more than me, but the last time we played Madrid, our best centre back was out because of mental health, and we had to fill the back 4 of Segon, Ibue, Flamini, and I can't remember who else.
No, it was Senderos. Not
Senderos. That was it. Yeah, that was it. Senderos.
Well, no, I mean that runs at the final. We didn't concede a goal in the knockouts, and with that back 4. And
was that the last time we've actually beaten Real Madrid? Was 2006? That's the last time we beat them.
We're the only English club that's actually unbeaten against Madrid.
Yeah, against Madrid, it's only us and Lille in the whole world that have never conceded a goal against Madrid in the Champions League. So we finished 3rd in the group. They finished mid-table in the group, so I'm reasonably optimistic.
How does everyone feel? How did everyone feel? Martinelli played
a lot.
I think that's the first time he's looked like he has evolved.
Yeah,
this season he hasn't been anywhere near, but that makes me feel like he's been carrying a knock or something for him to because he just looked like he had an extra yard of pace, extra bit of confidence. Obviously, he was playing against Castagna, which, he's a Belgian international. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's over 30 now, so I think he was giving him. But I think that confidence of him beating him the first time just set him up for the rest of the game. But it was very, very good to see. But
we get a good nutmeg on him as well.
Yeah. But then we need to see more of that now.
Yeah. I know someone was saying to me, the girls. We were talking in the chat once the other day, and they said, you don't want to lose any of your players, but if there was one defender that you didn't want to lose, was Gabriel. They would even say they would rather have lost Saliba.
I think Gabriel's a better defender than Saliba.
I think so.
But that's my opinion.
That's what I personally feel. That's what I feel anyway.
I think they complement each other, so I think you have to have them together for
But again, if it was just one defender, you would not want to lose.
No, it's Gabriel.
Yeah, it's Gabriel. Yeah, do you know what? I actually had it the other way around. I thought Saliba was better, but now I'm thinking, Gabriel might be a bit more better.
What do you reckon?
I think it's just because of this season, and from what I've seen, Gabriel don't get roughed up by the big number 9s. Saliba does, and that's the difference. Gabriel
I haven't seen Saliba. I think Isak is only the real player I've seen Saliba look out of place a little bit. I don't think Saliba's been really. I think they're very different in the way they are, how they approach the game. Saliba's a bit more composed. Obviously, Gabriel's a bit more rough and ready, and I'd say a bit more of a leader in the defence. But I think
But going back to Martinelli, what you saying about Martinelli, I'll tell you what he reminds me of, people. I'm not going to try and make you laugh, but you know what I think of him? He reminds me of one of those Hobbs microwaves. The microwaves you get when you put him on, he's hot. You know what I mean? When he played there the other night, you know what I mean? He had that defender there on toast there the other night, but he reminds me of a microwave.
Was it
he goes missing.
An air fryer.
Yeah. But when he goes missing, you might as well call the police and tell them to put up a missing poster. Because like he goes, you know what I mean? Because he goes missing in certain games. Like you think to yourself, like, what's he on? Like, and I mean, so you know what I mean?
But
1 minute he's not, and then he goes missing. Do you know what I mean? Next time he goes missing, we might have to call 999 and say, where is he? Like, you know what I mean?
But for me, you've got to go all the way back to 2022 against Leicester for Gabby's good game for us, where he's actually got past his defenders and had end product.
Sorry, I wanted to get Adam in because he's just been observing everyone's. Do you know what I mean? What have you got to say, Adam?
About the centre backs or Martinelli? I think I'm with Jake. I don't think either of them. I think it was a coin flip if you wanted to lose one. I think if White, as much as I don't want to, Gabriel's a huge blow. I think if White plays there, people forget we bought Ben White as a centre back. You know, he's not played an awful lot there for Arsenal because of being pushed out to right back, and that's testament to Gabriel and Saliba. But I think if White's fit, I mean, he played there against Liverpool earlier in the season when Saliba was suspended. And I think if White's fit, I don't think it's as big a blow as people are making out. I think I'm a huge Gabriel fan, but I think White is a top class centre half. And I think
Timber will go in the middle.
I'm not sure. I think it could be either.
I don't know if you can't say people are getting it wrong that it's a bigger blow. It's a massive blow, Adam.
No, it is a massive blow. But what I'm saying is, I think people are assuming that Kivior plays. I think if White or Timber plays, it's not. People are talking like it's the end of the tie. I don't think it's as big as that. I'm saying, of course, it's a blow. There's our best two centre backs, but I don't think it's the end of the tie if White or Calafiori come into that centre back. I think if Kivior plays, it's a big doubt, obviously.
What I want to ask is now that Saka's back, which is good, and we haven't spoke about him as in depth as yet, but what does that mean for Ethan Ranieri?
Yeah, but it means you can manage his minutes, which is good.
Yeah, I think Ranieri was ahead of schedule this season. I think I said it last week. I don't think Arteta was planning to play him as much as he has, and I think he will unleash him from the bench in certain games. I think he'll play in different positions.
But now he's got the taste of it, Adam. Now,
of course, he has, Pat. But I think you've got 7 or 8 league games left. I think Saka's minutes can be managed that way as well. If you do have a run in the Champions League, we can kind of make sure he plays 90 in the Champions League and then plays 60 in the league, and then you can rotate them because Saka's never really had that. The last 2-3 years, Saka's played every minute that he's been available for, and it's the first time we've really been able to bring someone in his position that isn't going to be a huge drop off, really.
I think it's great for Nwaneri because.
Are you still there, mate? I think
yeah, I'm still here. I'm in the dark, but I'm still here.
Where you are, mate? I'm getting a little bit worried about you.
I'm still here. I'm just
you might have to go to a lighter place.
Yeah, I'm fending off the vampire bats, but I'm still here.
Honestly, I can't believe it's like. Are you in the middle of a park?
You're in a cupboard.
Honestly, I'm in the middle of a park. If in a minute I can go and sit under a lamppost. If you don't believe me,
go do it now.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear someone else's voice on that phone. Do you know what I mean?
No, right. But listen, Nwaneri, I think it's good for him that Saka's going to be back because it's going to give Madrid a lot more to worry about. They could man mark him or maybe triple mark him, but now they're going to have to worry about Saka as well as Nwaneri, and they're both players who suck players in, a bit like what Jack Wilshere used to do. He used to suck 3 or 4 players in. Do you remember that goal he scored against Norwich where he sucked about 5 of their players in, did a couple of 1-2 and then banged it in? That means that they're going to be worried. We're going to hurt them with those two there.
Nwaneri won't start. He won't start against Madrid. I'm telling you now. There's no way Nwaneri starts on Tuesday.
I'd love it if he did because I think it would be quite bold. You're probably right. He won't, but it would be really good. I also feel. With Gabriel not being there, there's less of a threat from corners now because Gabriel, the defender, was a real big threat from corners. Do you remember how many goals or sort of assists he's got from corners? So that's a bit of a shame as well.
7 goals and 6 from corners.
Yeah. So that's a real shame. Having said that, I think Saliba, he's more suited to Madrid because they're very skillful, very mobile. I don't think they're the most physical side in the world. So in a way, Saliba, in my opinion, is a good get out of jail card for us in a way. At least we haven't got both of them missing. Touch wood at the moment.
With Madrid, they won't be doing any low blocking. Do you know what I mean? So
I don't know about that.
That's why it's more suited.
You know what,
to us.
Madrid, they can do all sorts. They can mix it up. They can
I
do
know,
ticky-tacky. They can go direct. They can do low block. They're masters at getting
I
out
know
of
they
jail.
do, but they're very
Paying off the referee.
they very rarely do low blocks.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be a real. Well, is Arsenal going to do low blocks?
Yeah,
We might have to if it wins the game.
Only away.
Yeah.
Away. If we're 1-0 up, you mean? Yeah.
All depends on the first leg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first leg, man. We have, you know what? This first leg on Tuesday, we have to win this, man. We have to win it big.
Yeah. We've got to either win or at least be in the tie. We don't want to go Madrid 2 or 3 goals down because then it's a dead rubber in Madrid, and that would be such a shame. You know what I mean?
We haven't spoken about Mikel Mourinho's goal. I mean, how do you think he played?
played all right.
Played all
I'm
right.
complaining the job he's doing. Do you know what I mean?
There's a stat. Only Mo Salah scored more goals than him.
Since he played up front. Yeah.
Yeah. Marmouche is behind third with 5 in, I think 8.
You know what I think? You know what? I call him Jose Mourinho. That's what I call him, Jose Mourinho. Do you know what I think of him? Yeah, Mikel Mourinho, Jose Mourinho, whatever his name is. Do you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Giroud. You know what I mean? Because Giroud, Giroud weren't the quickest player in the world, but when he was meant to score goals, he scored goals. You know, and this is what Mourinho does. You know what I mean? He might not be the quickest agile player in the world, but when he's meant to score a goal, he scores a goal. You know.
You might be able to see me better now.
That's who he might.
I'm under a light.
Oh. Go towards the light, mate.
It's too high up, mate. It's about 20 foot up in the air.
You know what? I'd love to know. I'd love to know what park you're in.
I'd love to know what the neighbours are thinking.
But yeah. So,
Oh boy.
but overall, I know the first half was a bit dull. It was. Second half, obviously, they picked up. You talk about they didn't know how to kill off the game in the last 10, 15 minutes. Don't you think that he should have brought on a defender then?
But I also think Fulham's game plan worked as well, because they did sit in a low block, which has been our kryptonite, and then the game opened up around the 60th minute, and then it was around that period where we had a good 3 to 4 chances to really put it to bed.
He's had enough.
He didn't like that.
Charlie, mate, come with better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you scared him off.
Just being honest.
He's got to sort out his TikTok, hasn't he?
Sorry?
I thought you
You've
fucking
got
had
to
enough,
sort out
man.
your TikTok, haven't you?
Took me and David in the park.
Scared you off.
Get a drink. I went to see if I can find Dave.
You're talking bollocks, mate. I've had enough. Oh god.
Go on, carry on. What was you saying?
I just said Fulham played in a low block, and then the game opened up around the 60th minute when they brought on
I think that Gabriel injury could have been prevented, because I think we were just quite sloppy with the passing in the
We
right
had the ball
time.
in the final third, so I
And
do
then
understand him not kicking it out.
Yeah, but then we got hit on the counter, but it was like unnecessary. We should have just kept the ball better, and that would have never happened.
Wasn't it a non-contact injury? Didn't he just pull up running, with his hamstring?
He was trying
hamstring.
But we were comfortable in possession, passing the ball, and then we kept giving the ball away, and then we would never been in. Gabriel would have never been in that position where he would have to turn and start trying to.
And you know what? Hamstrings, yeah. Do you know? I don't know if any of you lot play football in here, yeah. But I used to play a bit of Sunday League football. Let me tell you something. Yeah, hamstring injuries. Excuse my French. They fucking hurt.
It's the fourth one of the season. That is a worry. That it's not the fourth big hamstring injury of the season is becoming a bit of a concern.
I reckon
Massively.
also that because of his travel, he was travelling around the world from the international break. That might have had something to do with it, jet lag and all that.
I don't think he was in economy. I don't think he was, I'm not sure it was Ryanair.
I only think he played right down for Brazil.
Probably led down for the whole flight.
You've got to think about it, though, isn't it? I mean,
Who else had the injuries? Saka, Gabriel.
Martinelli had hamstring as well, didn't he? I think it was
Martinelli had hamstring injury.
Yeah.
and the majority of them, it's been when Arsenal was playing at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't Gabriel Jesus out with a hamstring injury and all?
That's ACL.
Which could have been prevented. That could have been prevented as well.
I never did body chemistry at school.
I know they were saying something about. I think there was a bit of chat there recently about all the VAR checks and all the stoppages in the game at the moment. Where the players are stopping for 2-3 minutes at a time.
Yeah,
I reckon there's a lot more injuries because of that. I know there wasn't really a huge stoppage that day, but it is a weird thing because say as Lloyd said, I used to play football. If you stop for 2-3 minutes for an injury, you have to try and get going again. You could do all your muscles going, and it does seem to be a lot of. It's not just Arsenal as well. You look at the big injuries this season. There's been an awful lot of hamstring injuries.
You got to look at Chelsea. You got to look at
Spurs have had like tons of injuries.
Are we surprised that Saka?
Hang on, listen, guys. You need to stop swearing in here. All right. So when you bring up that T word, that's such an offensive word, guys.
I was saying it in a good way. They've got a load of injuries. But...
The team who are 14th place. That's what we call them.
Yeah, I mean, but okay, fine. But overall, what would you give the whole team out of 10?
7s.
Yeah. He was let down by the goal we conceded.
No, 10, man. What do you mean? No, 7.
Yeah.
Raya was fuming when they conceded. I don't know if he should get on TV, but he kicked the post afterwards. Like,
he
was fuming. I think he actually had a little bit of a go at Lewis Skelly because Lewis Skelly actually went to sleep a little bit, and he got caught, and it gave him a bit of. He
went past Lewis Skelly. That's it. Yeah,
and he did have a go at him, and he kicked the post. He was fuming because I think
I was surprised Lewis Skelly stayed on for 90 minutes. That surprised me. I thought he would come off after 7 minutes. Playing both internationals.
Zinchenko was there.
Yeah. I actually forgot about him.
So I thought that was a bit weird because he's normally even giving him like 70 minutes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyway.
Okay, fine. So what do you reckon about the game for Fulham then? Anyone?
What's that?
The game for Fulham. I mean, for Everton.
I think it's a tough game. I say it's a tough place to go. I don't hold out much hope for the game, if I'm honest. I think we're going to be a little bit distracted by Tuesday night. They've got a very good record there. So last season at Goodison, they're getting so pumped up for games there. It's a tough place to go anyway. We've not got a great record up there, and I think I can see us drawing up there. I don't think it's the end of the world if we draw the game. I think if it was, the title race was really close, and it'd be a must win. But I think we will be a little bit distracted by Tuesday.
Still is a must win.
I think Moyes has made him a lot harder to beat as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I ran the same last night.
Talk about Moyes made them hard to beat, but did anyone see that tackle last night?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was disgusting.
Yeah, that Tarkovsky one. Yeah, that was disgusting.
Can I just say something? We'll talk about that. Can I just say a separate point? How much Van Dijk gets away with?
Yeah, better.
Infuriates me how much he gets away with. But yeah, that tackle was.
3
years ago, it would have been fine.
What
that tackle? Yeah, that Tarkovsky. You wouldn't even get away with that in a prison. They should have called the police. They should have called the police and got him done for murder. That was terrible.
And that's the thing that worries me about that fixture, the physicality of Everton. That's the last bloody team we want to play before Madrid.
Yeah, but so look, that tackle, like you guys said, that was horrendous.
Awful.
That was horrendous. And you know what that makes me thought about? Do you remember when Lewis Skelly got that that red card for that little trip, and they call it malicious?
Yeah.
They call that malicious. What do they call that?
I think what worries me about
yellow card, mate.
Yeah, referees you can't play the game. The fact they think that was just following through from winning the ball, like he knew exactly what he was doing. Anyone that's ever played football knows you can pull out of that kind of tackle. It just worries me when a referee or someone in the VAR room can't see that. Everyone can see that. I mean, even Duncan Ferguson thought it was a red card. I mean, Jesus, if he thinks it's a red. I mean,
what I think is not.
I mean, that tackle is potentially life changing. He could have ended up in a wheelchair for the rest of his life.
What I think the VAR saw is he did actually win the ball first and then got the man. So I think that's where the thought process was.
Yeah, but the VAR can see everything, and how many times, how long does it take them to have a look if was it a goal or not? Listen, they can slow that down. Even I know a lot of people say, but when you slow things down, it makes it look even worse. But come on,
at full pace is
it a simple thing as who's played football before and who hasn't?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's black and white as that.
Do you think if that was one of Arsenal's personnel, do you think that would have been a red card?
Yeah.
If that was Xhaka, mate, Jesus Christ, he'd be getting locked up.
We'd have been off.
I think I've actually seen Xhaka do that tackle before.
And also the media hype and frenzy would be so anti-Arsenal. They'll be talking about it still today. Now, as we're speaking, because of the media, they don't like Arsenal very much. We would have got a lot more stick than what Everton got. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't even think you would have got away with that in a Sunday league match. No, I don't. I've seen worse tackles down there at Acme Marshes on a Sunday. You know what I mean?
Mate, if that happened in Sunday League, there's punches being thrown.
It's
I see that in Acme Marshes down last Sunday. There was a game going on down there. Someone was having a punch up, but yeah, that's another story.
That's another story. Well, you were just about to say something, Adam.
Was it about that tackle or just generally? Yeah, no, as I say, I just think I just don't understand how anyone could perceive that as being just a general follow through on the ball. I was more surprised it didn't get given, considering it was at Anfield. The Liverpool fans were baying for blood. That surprised me, because sometimes I do think referees are influenced by that. I think what saved him was he didn't want to ruin a derby that early, and that's ridiculous that's a thing. But I think if things like that are coming into their decision making, then it's just so corrupt.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
But this is what they're here for. This is what they were brought in to do.
Yeah,
and they're still getting it wrong.
And that's why VAR is just laughable, because you say, how many times do you have to watch that to still get it wrong?
What was that other game? And there was about 6-7 VAR decisions. I can't remember what game it was now.
Oh, there's been loads.
It's painful.
No, it was the same. It was like I watched like 3-minute highlights on the Sky Sports app, and it was like VAR decision.
Yeah, I think Brighton Villa went to about. I think it was Brighton Villa. Went to about 9 minutes of injury time.
I also think there's been many of them tackles made this season, or like similar tackle. Like think of the João Pedro one. João Pedro nearly, literally elbowed someone, and the ref, and because he never actually touched him, there was no red card. So you got to think of that, and that's probably one of the worst ones I've seen. That Tarkowski one compared to that one that I've seen with João Pedro.
I think what's bad about it as well, I think that referees are now deciding not to make the red. They're kind of bottling the big decisions. I think if that had been pre-VAR, I think the ref would have given a red. But I think it was almost like, I'll hedge my bets with a yellow, and VAR can overrule it if need be.
Right, if there's no doubt, if it was Arsenal though, they wouldn't. That would have been a red card. That would have been be Arsenal. So yeah, it's got to be a red.
Regardless, it was a bad decision. Whoever it was and wherever it was horrendous.
Can I ask?
What do you think about the offside?
I thought it was offside. I have to say, I can see why.
Because he's gone to the ball.
Absolutely, he doesn't go and play the ball there if Diaz isn't standing behind him. I don't understand.
Game's gone.
So all right, so a result for Everton and Arsenal. What are you rating?
1-1.
Yeah, I concur with that. I think Everton will be right up for it. 12:30 early kickoff. Yeah, I don't think it'd be interesting to see if Saka starts as well. I think, and where he might start again, and Saka might come on again. But yeah, 1-1.
I reckon 2-2. It'll be keenly contested, despite the fact that both teams will be thinking of other things. I reckon 2-2.
What's Everton thinking about?
I suppose there'll still be a little bit of disappointment from losing the Merseyside derby. There'll probably be they've had a day less than us to rest up, so that'll be still on their minds, in my opinion. So hopefully that'll favour us. I reckon they'll be less physical than they normally are. Touch wood.
Adam.
I think. Well, I said 1-0, but I think if we were a bit closer to Liverpool, I think they might roll over for us and try and get us a bit closer to Liverpool. But I think the fact that Liverpool are going to win it, because they don't want Liverpool to win the league, do they? But I think if we were 6 or 7 points behind, I think you might see them, being not quite as up for our game as usual. A bit like Spurs against Man City last year. But I think because they're too far, I think they were too much of a gap. I think they want to beat us. So
yeah, I know, because I saw Moyes' interview and he said he doesn't really care what's going on with the other two.
No, the fans would, but yeah, I don't think he does. Yeah,
Charlie, what do you reckon?
What's that?
Score
the game.
Yeah.
Considering our record's not as good, I'm gonna 2-1.
2 sets, guys.
What, to them or us?
No, to us. I think it will be a close game, but I think we'll win 2-1.
Okay, cool. All right, cool.
Some Saka magic.
All right, so just
yeah, I'm going to tell you what I think.
I can't believe I did not ask you.
Yeah, yeah. See, look, left me out. See, look.
Jeez, mate. Sorry, mate. I thought I thought you. Was,
Yeah. The way I see this game going, yeah, like Jake said, it's going to be a 12:30 game, innit? Early kickoff. You know what I mean? Our record up there ain't really that great, is it? Like, I think personally, he's just going to have Tuesday night on his mind. 1-1.
Right.
And if that happens, if that does happen, they might as well get the Premier League trophy and go, here you go, Liverpool, we are.
And that's well, that's true because I can't see Arteta giving up on that, mate. Because I still feel in the back of his mind. Listen, second place ain't secured.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
How many points are we in front of Forest? 5, 6?
5, innit?
It's 5, isn't it?
Would you begrudge him to make 6, 7 changes?
I'd play Tierney. I'd play Tierney on Saturday.
Well, that's a point. I never. Yeah. Do you think he's going to make a lot of changes then for the Everton game? Anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably will. Knowing that he's got Tuesday night in mind, yeah, he probably will.
I could see Zinchenko playing. I could see Tierney playing. I could see Jorginho playing.
I could see Tomiyasu coming back.
I don't think it'll be mass changes. I think it'll be 2 or 3.
I could see Sterling playing as well.
Yeah, I could see them dragging.
Don't tell me that.
Tomiyasu is right now. I think they'll be dragging him back and saying, "Look, you're playing, pal."
Ain't he got some sort of injury going on at the moment? That's Tomiyasu.
He's got a knee injury. He's another player that's had surgery.
No idea.
Yeah, he's forgotten how to play football.
I ain't got no idea. Okay, well, moving on from that, guys. I want to ask you. I know we never put this in, but it's a big thing at the moment. It's about. I just want to get your opinions on it. It's about the ticket sales because obviously tickets are going up for fans. Obviously, you've heard of what's happened at with City supporters. There's a few other supporters that's been hanging out, not going into the game straight away. Are you guys going to be concerned about the Arsenals?
My bank balance does.
Yeah.
I find some of the prices I keep seeing on Ticket Exchange just for like, I think it was Chelsea the other day. It was like 140 quid just to sit up a tier, and it's just like it's getting a joke.
You notice how they've took off the prices of the tickets, and now you actually have to see it when you actually buy the ticket.
Well, no, they tell you the category. They tell you what the category is in between. I mean, Real Madrid obviously isn't automatically on the season ticket, and I'm lower tier, and I paid 80 quid for each ticket. I mean,
that's not bad.
It's not the fact it's Real Madrid. It's like the fact that I shelled out £1,500 for the season ticket in the first place. Like years ago, you used to get the 19 league games and 7 cup games. Now you only get the 19 league games. You get the 3 group games, and then all the knockouts are additional. And I think the way it is, what's annoying fans is the money's gone up from TV, the sponsorship and everything, and now the ticket sales aren't really where the big money's coming from. Back in the day, clubs used to survive, Premier League clubs used to survive on the ticket sales. Now you're getting tons more money from the actual, sponsorship deals and the TV. So I've always loved it when the German fans come over to the Emirates. When Munich came over and we charged them 70 quid a ticket, they had the banner up saying 20 is plenty. The fans over there, they get charged 25 quid for games, and I think it's outrageous that we don't.
Respect for fans, though, isn't it?
It is.
Didn't PSV fans get refunded for their 70 quid that they spent?
Yeah, they had free entry to the Arsenal game. The PSV Eindhoven fans, they all came over and had a party. They even went to other football grounds during their.
Yeah, they went to Wimbledon.
Yeah, that's right.
The problem is, Pat,
I also think it's disgusting because I'm an ex-season ticket holder at Arsenal, and I gave up my seat because the pricing was just disgusting. Because my second team's Borussia Dortmund, I can go over and watch them cheaper than Arsenal. I can get an EasyJet flight over there, get into the ground for 20 quid. It's one of the best grounds in the world for atmosphere. Then come back, and it's cheaper than going to the Arsenal. Don't get me wrong, I still go to the Arsenal because my mates sort me out, but I actually gave my ticket up, and it's a shame because I think the atmosphere in Premier League grounds is too sort of gentrified now because traditionally it's a working class game. Like Dortmund, they're the equivalent of like Sheffield Wednesday. They're like the working class club of Germany. They're full of like ex-steel workers and coal miners. The atmosphere is brilliant. And I feel a bit ashamed sometimes to go and watch Premier League. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but the atmosphere isn't like what it used to be, where you used to just go and pay on the door. I used to love going in the North Bank and the Clock End.
What I find was really disgusting. I don't know if you guys ever listened to Talk Sport.
Yeah.
With Simon Cowell and what's the other guy who's been on Sky?
Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell.
Cowell. Sorry, Simon Jordan. Jordan.
Simon Jordan.
Yeah,
Simon Cowell. I was about to say, since when did he leave X-Factor? Do Talk Sport?
On the wrong channel.
Yeah. Anyway. And what's the other gentleman who used to be on Sky Sport? He used to do all the
Jim White.
Wait, hold on. Is that the one with that Jason Tundy on it, whatever his name is?
No.
Jim White.
No, Jim White. I was listening. What was it? Yesterday and today. Yesterday was with. It was Simon Jordan, and what did you say the other guy's name was?
Jim White.
Jim White, and there's the ex-Liverpool player,
Danny Murphy.
That's it.
And what they said, because I was hearing, because what brought it up was they were saying there was a lot of people tailgating into the not the FA Cup, into the Carabao Cup.
Mm.
You know what I mean by tailgating, yeah? Like, just pushing each other, squeezing up to each other and pushing and getting
jibbing in football terms. Yeah.
Say again?
People know it's jibbing in football terms, trying to get without a ticket. Yeah.
They done it at the Euros.
That's
final.
standard at Wembley, isn't it?
Yeah, but anyway.
They done it at the Euros final.
Oh yeah, Euro. Yeah, that was mad. That was.
They had to close off all the barriers. They had to close off all the barriers for an hour and a half.
What was disgusting is when you listen to Simon Jordan. I mean, the guy. I mean, yeah, I don't like the way he talks. Anyway, he acts like he's posh and he's very intelligent. Don't get me wrong. He's a businessman. Well, I think he tried to swallow a thesaurus when he speaks. You know what I mean? Tried to bring out all these big words and everything. He's very patronizing when it comes to football fans. Now, what I was hearing from him, from Simon Jordan, Jim, whatever his name is, and Danny. What's his name? Danny
Murphy.
Danny Murphy.
They were talking about, it's disgusting how people are just pushing, what you call it, jibbing in, to get in without paying tickets, or they ain't got tickets and everything else. And there was something he came out with what the police should be. They want to make it an illegal offence, so people can be arrested and go to prison. But then for jibbing, going in, pushing.
What's jibbing? What's jibbing? What's that?
Getting into the ground without a ticket.
It's when you bunk in the ground without paying. You're behind your mate and you both go in through the turnstile.
Oh, yeah. So I've seen that at train station.
They done it at the Euros. They done it in Euro 2020.
Well, let me just finish my point. All right. My point is that then they talked about, they should be arrested. They can't afford it. They shouldn't be going. Not only that, then he brought up guns.
Guns?
What?
Hang on. Danny Murphy said, because what Simon Jordan brought up a gun, all right, and then he brought up Danny Murphy went, the police should shoot them all.
Yeah,
right.
Hang on. Now think about what these people are saying about fans. All right, then Simon Jordan and clarified, said, "Well, I didn't mean like shoot them all. I mean, I think they should have tased them." Now, at the end of the day, all right, okay, I get it, all right. These people are getting in illegally. I get it, all right. But to come up to bringing up tasering people and bringing up guns and shooting people,
that's madness.
They're the most arrogant people I've ever met. Number one, especially when it comes to Simon Jordan, all right, he always goes on the side of business people. All right, he talks about, the fans can't afford it. They can't afford. The fans, they're all right when it comes to the owners are putting in putting this amount of money, doing all this and doing this and doing that. But when they put up ticket prices, they don't like it. Do you know what I mean? And with those three, when you listen to those presenters on Talk Sports, they're so condescending. They're so belittling. They belittle ordinary football fans. Sorry,
that's what their job is, mind.
It's not their job.
But their job is for you to have. Is for us to start having a debate. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
They might not believe half of this shit they say.
That's why I respect Martin.
You've got to remember, right? You've got to remember when I'm going to bring up Raheem Sterling when he first played. I can't remember if it was for City or Chelsea, and he's got a tattoo on his leg of a gun.
It was. I remember it. It was 2018, and it was on Good Morning Britain. Piers Morgan.
Right? Yeah. How they vilified him. How they vilified that guy for just having a gun on his leg. For Danny Murphy to come out and say to shoot. And to shoot supporters, I think it's the most disgusting thing ever, and he should be reprimanded for that.
That's madness.
I don't care. I really don't care, even if it's to stir up a debate.
But Pat, you shouldn't be surprised because this is the same show where Jason Cundy said he wants Lewis Skelly to be snapped in half.
That's right. I mean,
you're forgetting that bit.
These things have got to be stopped because we're a little show. All right, we ain't going to get as much viewings as much as they get. They got I've seen it on YouTube. All right, they've got 1 point something million people viewing their content, and for them to come out with something like that, talking about shooting fans. And then what Simon Jordan came out with, well, look, at the end of the day, fans are saying that they want the ticket prices to be brought down, but they need to understand that where's most of the money goes.
You know what? They're not a very nice bunch. I've actually got on the show, got onto the show. They're nasty. They take the piss out of disabled people. Like the person before me, they were slaughtering them. They were really nasty. You know, they're a nasty bunch of DUNTs.
And the thing about it, people need to. I know there's a couple of shows that calls them out on it, but it really got to me because. What they're saying is Simon Jordan's saying that the owners have got the rights to sell the tickets to a third party entity. This is what he's saying. They've got the rights to do that, and however they want to distribute it, however they want to put the sale on it. But then another supporter came on and said, "Look, a lot of these tickets that goes to third parties and that obviously they go to people in different countries." And they're going to basically come into these, let's just say if they're going to support Arsenal, and it's Arsenal and Tottenham, but these people that were getting it from ticket sales or ticket masters or whatever, they can basically end up, they wanted to support Arsenal, but they could end up in the Tottenham end. And if they support and they cheered, there could be a big disaster there.
So I've been trying to get a Madrid ticket all day today, and I've been quoted some ridiculous.
In the thousands.
You know what I think?
Not that bad, but
you know what I think? Do you know what I think? I think TalkSport are pricks. Who agrees?
Well, I think they're there to get people going. They would not have a show if they're saying anything straight down the line. They are there to get people irate.
But that's why I respect people like Keown, because Keown goes on there
exactly,
and he literally shuts them all down.
But that's it. You've got to have one guy on this side, and you've got to have one guy on the other side.
Martin O'Neill's also the same. He's been on there a couple of times.
But Jay, they're the first people when fans do something wrong. They're the first people to condemn them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They're the first people to condemn them. But you don't talk about. You're trying to calm this this rhetoric down when it comes to violence and hatred and anti-Semitic. But then it's all right for you as a presenter to basically talk about guns and shooting. Adam, I want to hear what do you say about this? Because I know you've been a bit quiet on it.
No, well, I haven't seen the actual. I'd like to watch the actual interview myself or the show. I mean, I did a sports journalism degree. Like I know what the journalism game is, as Jay says. You know, like you are put in situations where you are trying to. I mean, journalists kind of generally have that reputation of antagonizing people. They want to get kind of clicks. They want to get kind of controversy. Now, I'm not trying to condone what they've said, but they are trying to make it as controversial as they can. I haven't seen the context of what he said it in. If he has said it in that way, then there's no excuse for it. I mean, I think the point around it is, stopping people coming in. Like, I watched the documentary on the 2020 Euros final, and there was a lot of dickheads trying to get in with no ticket, and that is a major concern. And I think we don't want to go back to the days of the 80s and 90s where it was a safety concern, but there's obviously a limit on what you can say on it. I think there's again, I've been to games where you can see people trying to get in, and it's ridiculous. So I'm not saying shoot them by any means, but I'm saying I can see the point. But yeah, you can't say it like that.
You know what? The European final was an exception because that was the first sort of time that people could go out and party after COVID. And when I went down, I witnessed it myself. There was people in Wembley Way openly having sex in public. They were high on drugs. That was not normal.
We don't need to hear that on here.
No, but I'm telling you,
where you are now.
It was literally Wembley Way. I looked down as soon as I come out the station. It was the biggest mashup I've ever seen in public.
Dave, hear me out, mate. When you're saying that and you're in that dark place, all you can see a little lip moving, it's a bit scary. I think you should.
Look, there I am. There's a light.
But yeah,
I think, Pat, when you strip it all back, though, it's all down to fans being priced out of going to matches.
And that's what people are coming out and say. But what he's saying is, what Jordan is saying is that it's not the owners that's putting up the ticket prices and everything. That's the reason why they're doing it. It's because the majority of the money goes to the players. And anyway, what they're saying is the fans don't pay for that.
Pat, what I will say for Arsenal, as this is an Arsenal podcast, I will say Arsenal have tried to combat this. I mean, 4 or 5 years ago, there was tickets all over the place. Now they've really tried to tighten the process. Now the ballot process is obviously to try and go to silver and red members. If you do get a ticket, you have to actually log in and you can't sell a ticket to someone on the internet. You have to actually log in with your own membership now. You can transfer the ticket to another member, but they have really tried to tighten it up. Now I know what Jay's saying, that there's still people slipping through the net, people getting tickets, but it's a lot better than it was 5-6 years ago. I mean, when you were a silver member 6-7 years ago, trying to get a ticket for a game like Madrid would have been like gold dust. Now there are at least silver, but people getting it through the ballot. The ticket exchange is a nightmare, and it is going to be a difficult one to get.
Arsenal's price has gone up.
But you know what?
Sorry, Charlie. As Arsenal's price has gone up significant, so ordinary fans are feeling it in their pockets. Yes,
they are feeling it in their pockets, but the problem is they know they can get away with it, Pat. People are going to pay for it. You know, it's people will pay for, especially 5-6 years ago. People could get tickets easily. Away games were going to 5 credits. Now you're getting places like Brentford that are 40 credits for an away game. And not being harsh, but people say about the giving up their season tickets. People did give up their season tickets, and it wasn't all because of money. People gave up the season tickets when we were in the mud, and the true fans stayed behind us. And that's the problem now. People are trying to come back now. We're good, and they wonder why they can't get a ticket.
You know what?
Yeah, it's a 20-year waiting list for season tickets now.
I'm 700 in the queue, and I've been waiting. I've been 700 for the last 4 years.
Yeah,
that's why I'm glad I've got a membership. I don't want to go through all that.
I mean, I do get in these days without membership, but it's controversial what I do. But I do get in without membership still.
There's two things up.
Just quickly,
that's because you got someone else's login. So
I won't go into detail, but
apparently as well. I don't know. One of my friends reckons. I don't know. One of my friends reckons that Simon Jordan's related to Michael Jordan. I don't see where, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyway, and moving on from there, guys. Moving on now. We've got to wrap it up in a bit. So just one quick final question on Andrea Berta. I'm going to start from the top. Obviously, we're hearing a lot of different links. What he's trying to do for the club. What his shopping list is going to be for the summer. Arteta's come out, and even some people are saying he shouldn't have said it's going to be a busy summer. It's going to be a big summer. Let's hope it does come to fruition, because if I heard that and I was an owner, and I know that you're coming from my player, it's going to be a big sum. I'm going to be putting some notes on that. I'm going to start off with you, Jake. Jake, what do you say?
We've heard this before. Be excited. I know it's not from that was from Josh Conkey, but until there's players going like that with a shirt, mate, To be fair, everything's set up. January just gone, we should be having a big summer. We're going to have as I said, we spoke about this before, a lot of outgoings, and we need to fill this squad with quality players. So if we do get injuries next season, we're not shooting ourselves in the foot.
Okay.
But proof's in the pudding.
Yeah. Yeah. Lloyd?
Yeah, I just hope, like what Jake just said, like I just hope this guy is true to his word, like, you know what I mean? Just hopefully, like, you know, we've read it all before, like, get excited, be prepared, do you know what I mean? So just hopefully, like, he's true to his word, like, he does his job, you know what I mean? But
I
what
don't
I've been
think he
hearing
would have
about it,
taken the job if he wasn't allowed to have a little war chest to come in and spend and do his thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he would have.
yeah, but yeah, like, apart from that, like, I don't really know much about the geezer. Like, all I know is he's Italian, and he brought in the good players like Griezmann and this one and this one and that one and this one. So hopefully he does his job well, and hopefully he gives them something to shout about. Do you know what I mean? Spend a bit of money. Let's see in it. And apparently the first player I'm hearing he might be getting is that Gutierrez. Apparently he's got a strong interest in him. Apparently, so he could be the first one through the door, and I wouldn't mind him.
Okay, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, I can only take it on what we've heard so far. I think it sounds positive. I think we will get a striker in the summer. Again, I think there's a few options out. I think the beauty of it at the moment is, you know, we are second in the league going into a Champions League quarterfinal, and anyone that comes in as number 9 probably going to walk straight in the team. You know, that's a very big pull for a top class striker around Europe. There's been times where you look at teams that are going for a striker and they're thinking, well, they're going to be a backup. But I think any top class striker is going to come in and go, I'm the final piece of the jigsaw at Arsenal. That's the thing, you know. I think everyone knows in the media we're in need of a number 9, and I think it's such a big thing if you come in and be Arsenal's number 9, and you could, you know, that's the difference between possibly a title or a Champions League, and yeah, it's a huge pull for that striker. So I think we will get someone. I think it'll be fairly easy to get one of the strikers this summer because the amount of strikers we're interested in, really.
Yeah, you see, okay. All right. Sorry, Charlie, go ahead, mate.
Yeah, I think it's positive news what we hear, but I'm with Jake. We do hear it every year. Remember Arteta said it last year, and our only signings were a lone Neto, a lone Sterling, and Marino and Calafiore. Marino's probably been the only signing so far to actually bang. I know Calafiore is a hard one because he's been injured, but we ain't really had a good transfer window under Arteta since, I think, 2022. And even the players that he signed there have been a bit wobbly. But
Okay.
it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Sorry, mate. I'll be with you in a minute, Dave. I see Adam shaking his head. I'm not shaking his head. Well, what do you say? What was that for, Adam?
Well, I thought we signed Declan Rice last summer. I think that was probably the best signing we could have. You know, I think.
We did. Yeah.
I mean, if that's not a good transfer window, I don't know what it is.
I'm not saying that, but I think in terms of the players that we needed for depth, I think 2022 was the correct one.
You say that. I don't know. I think last year we brought enough quality to go and win it, and I think we were really unlucky not winning it last year. I think the generally, again, Marino, I think Calafiore has been a good signing. He's been a couple of injuries. I think we've done all right. I think, you know, again, the bad transfers we've had for me in the last 2 years have been the loan signings. You know, Sterling and Neto have been great signings, but we haven't spent any money on them. They've been no-brainer kind of like, you know, loans. If we'd have spent 80-90 million on a Darwin Núñez, for example, and he'd been like that, I'd have been really worried. I mean, Havertz gets a lot of stick. I still think Havertz has been a decent signing overall.
Vieira's probably the only one as well.
Yeah, Vieira didn't work out. But again, it wasn't huge money, 25-30 million. So
No, that Núñez is useless, isn't he?
He's not 90 million's worth. Let's say that. I mean,
no, definitely not.
Yeah.
He's about 50 million.
Let's get
not even that. Not even that. More like 20 million.
All right, go on, Dave. You're in it now. Go on.
I reckon we, for a little while, have been bottom heavy with too many defenders. We need some marquee, stellar players to take us to the next level. You know, if we want to become an elite club, we've got to get some world-class strikers. Goals win you football matches. I know defenders, you need defenders to get you, like, you know, resilient 1-0s or 0-0 draws. But what wins your football matches? Not 0-0s. Goals win your games. So we need to get that Sporting Lisbon player in ASAP. And for me, I want us to get not just one. I want us to get 3 or even 4 strikers. Do you remember United when they dominated English football in the 90s? They had 4 main strikers. They had so many options who could come off the bench and pull them out of the quicksand when they were struggling. Do you remember when Thierry Henry won us the league almost? I know we were the Invincibles. Do you remember when in 1 week we lost to Man United in the Cup semi-final, then Chelsea knocked us out in the Champions League, then we were struggling against Liverpool. Thierry Henry took the game by the scruff of the neck and won us that game. If we'd lost to Liverpool, we would have struggled to win the league. We need players like that who get us out the quicksand. That's what happened with Man City when they bought Haaland. You know, they've got that sort of player who just scares you. And even against Arsenal, when we beat them 5-1, he just needed a couple of chances and the ball's in the back of the net. Goals win you games. So we need these marquee players.
I agree. I'll tell you what, mate. I'll tell you where you're. All I can see is your lips, mate.
Can we do next week? Can we just have our lips on camera?
I'm scared. I'll tell you what. Next time you come on it, guys, find somewhere to sit properly, mate. Because that is scary, mate. Honestly.
Next time
we're gonna have to do it 8 in the morning.
You know what I mean? God. But guys, I mean, I hear what you guys are saying. I mean, I think what you guys got to remember as well. You talk about strikers, mate. I'll tell you, it's like what Dave said. We've got to remember how many players, without calling their names, if you all can think about it, how many players do you think is going to be leaving this season? Going out.
6 or 7.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3.
Right, but you guys, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be more than that. But you guys, everyone's talking about getting a striker. Guys, I'm telling you now, like Arteta said, we need depth. We need depth. And that's what Alan is shaking his head again.
Yeah, like there is patterns. The 6 or 7 that are going to go, who are you actually bothered about going? Sterling's going to go. Neto's going to go.
Right.
How many of those players actually play in any games for us?
Hang on. I'm not worried.
Is the only one.
Guys, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about them going. That's not what I'm saying. What I am worried about is depth. Because when they go, okay, let's just say 6, 7 go. Let's just say because I believe there's going to be about 6 or 7 of them going. We're going to bring in one striker. So what happens to the other positions when someone gets injured? We cannot afford to do what we did this season. We can't.
No, definitely not.
We cannot afford it.
I'm going to put the question here to you, Pat. What players do you see going?
What play? I can see Partey going. I don't want Partey to go because Partey is been one of our best players this season. Believe it or not, I don't want to see him go. I can see Jorginho going. Okay, I can see Tierney going. Yeah, I can see Koscielny going.
Zinchenko.
Yeah, Zinchenko.
Koscielny. He's longer.
I'll have him back.
But how many is that? How many is that? 4 or 5? Then you've got. I can't see. What's his name? What's the Japanese player?
Tomiyasu.
I can't see him coming back. I really can't see him coming back.
To be fair, out of all those players, you'd only say Partey is the one that we go, oh, thank God he's coming off the bench. Or thank God he's starting from.
Right. Yeah. One of these players are playing minutes, Pat.
But guys, I get it. But what you need to understand is we still need depth.
But we're not going to just spend all the money on one striker.
No, we've got a lot of depth.
We will reinforce.
Okay, you say we've got a lot of depth. Then why is Arteta coming out the other day and said, "Look, we've got the finished play. We've got the finished team in the league."
We've got 5 or 6 major injuries, and
I know.
No one's saying we haven't got depth up front, and that's where we're looking at a winger and a striker. But midfield and defenders, we've got tons of players in midfield and defenders.
Midfield and defenders. All right, we say we've got tons of players. All right, then.
So Zubimendi comes in.
No, hang on. Forget that a minute. You say we've got tons of players. Forget about the players that's coming in right now. We've got Partey. Partey gets injured. Who goes in midfield? Who takes his place?
Jorginho.
Right, okay, no. All right, so Jorginho take it, yeah? All right, then. Let's just say Rice gets injured. Who's taking his place?
Lewis Skelly, and then you can move.
Lewis Skelly can play in there. Zinchenko can play in there. Timber can move forward.
But those guys are here, but Zinchenko, do you believe he's leaving next season?
Even Trossard can play left.
Any squad in the country would say if you lose 4 players, like who are you going to have as your backup? Not every squad in the country can have 4 players in every position.
What I'm saying is,
you can't have 4 players.
Those players who are leaving, 5, 6 players, obviously you're going to have to replace 5, 6 players. Or are you saying those 5, 6 players can go and we'll just bring in one?
We'll bring in 3.
Say Jorginho goes, Fabio Vieira comes back in. I know Jorginho's more defensive, he's more attacking. And then obviously Zubimendi looks like it's a done deal. That's already
okay. All right, so we've got
in the pipeline. In midfield, you've got Rice, Odegaard, Marino, Lewis Skelly can play there.
Yeah.
Who else we got? I don't think, like we said, I think it's mainly the attacking options.
Mary can play centrally.
Exactly. Yeah, I think in where he will end up as a number 10. I think it's been a good experiment he's played on the wing.
Yeah.
But at the end, I think he'll end up.
Do you think though that Zubimendi would be a done deal? Do you reckon, would that be what? Is that going to be 100%?
It's already done.
You know how they were talking about once, just similar to
like Jay said. All right, I'm like Jay, and this is a fact, and I've been saying it for years. Until I see that person holding up that red and white shirt with his number on it,
I think you got a fucking Higuain shirt.
That's what.
4 times.
That's what I'll say, guys.
Look, as well.
Guys, listen, I can carry on for a lot longer, but guys, you've been absolutely amazing. So I want to say thanks, Jake.
Cheers, mate.
I want to say thanks, Lloyd, and I want to say thanks, Adam, and I want to say thanks, Charlie, and I want to say thanks to.
Is he still there?
He's still there.
I'm still here.
Oh yeah,
shining the
one more
light.
thing as well, guys. One more thing before you go. On YouTube, I've actually got an Arsenal song on there. Arsenal FC, We Are the Gunners, it's called. If you go onto YouTube, check it out.
All right, guys. Okay, we'll do. All right, but if it's
we get a GoFundMe to get Dave a light or a torch or something.
Yeah, put it in the cup. Yeah.
Anyway, well, listen,
if anyone can get me a Madrid ticket, I will love you long time.
Yeah,
Just
me too.
Text Pat, and then Pat text me or whatever.
Text me or text. Oh well, text me because if you get me, if you get
Pat
one,
won't text me. Pat won't text me if he gets that text.
No, listen, you can go, mate. I'm hoping I'm going to be doing a lot more content out there. So yeah, so I'd rather just do my interviews and stuff. That's what I'm more love. But if anyone does go,
I'll have your ticket then, Pat. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm going to say to Adam, I'm going to say to anyone that does go, please try and take a little bit of video or photographs of some stuff and send them over to us. So we can get them up. As long as I can get my TikTok back, I'm praying to God. That's really. Anyway, what I would like to say is to everyone who's watching the video, please tell us what you think about what we discuss. If you agree, disagree, put your comments in there. Please smash the like button. Please subscribe. And everyone have a good day. And once again, thanks very much, guys. Do not go before you go. All right, but thanks very much.
Cheers, Pat.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Pat.